Shalom, family. Do you really believe in a second Exodus, in that Yahuwah is going to be sending ships all over the world for his people to be regathered and taken away? Well, what does the Bible say? And let's talk about it. Now, I know there has been prophecy of this pastor that said that he had a vision and he saw this where he was seeing all of the descendants of Yasharel. I want to make sure I understand. I don't know if he was saying all melanated people or the descendants of Yasharel were getting on these ships. And we were going to be taken out and we weren't going to be around anymore. And a lot of other people have been talking about it too. So I want to talk about it. But I want to talk about it according to what the word says. Now, the scattering. Yahuwah scattered Yasharel among the nations because of disobedience. We know that, right? In Deuteronomy 28:64. And also in Ezekiel 36:19. But the regathering, the prophets consistently saying Yahuwah himself will regather his people. Now in Ezekiel 36:24, he says, I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. You hear the key words, all in own land? So that means it's not Africa. It means that it's not going to be Costa Rica or Jamaica. We don't know where he's going to take us. We just know it's the promised land that he promised our forefathers. In Isaiah 11:12, he says he will set up an ensign, a signal, a banner. It's going to be something that the awakened, the remnant will be able to see or even hear. It could be a trumpet. It could be something that it's going to be only the awakening and the remnant's going to be able to hear or see for the nations, and will assemble the outcast of Yasharel and gather together the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth. And in Jeremiah 16:15, it says, I will bring them again to their land that I gave to their fathers. Well, at some point, where are we talking about? How are they going to do that with the ships or being brought as captives? You know, because we know that in Deuteronomy 28, we know that we were brought, our ancestors, some of our ancestors were brought by ships over to an unknown land. Okay, we know about that. But that verse is specifically about the curse of disobedience. Return to Egypt in ships. That's not the same as the promised regathering. The regathering is an act of salvation, not of a curse. So how will Yahuwah gather his people? Well, I have an idea, and I want to talk about the two prophets. Now, there's two prophets, if you read in the Bible, that were teleported from cities to cities. The first one was Philip in the book of Acts. After baptizing an Ethiopian eunuch on a road from Jerusalem to Gaza, the Spirit of Yahuwah miraculously transported Philip to the town of Azotus. So from the desert road that runs from Jerusalem to Gaza, he teleported him 60 miles away to a town called Azotus. Following the baptism, the Spirit suddenly took Philip away, and he instantly appeared in Azotus, where he continued to preach. That's one example. Ezekiel, the prophet Ezekiel, was transported by the Spirit on two occasions from his exile in Babylon to Jerusalem for a visionary tour of the temple. From the land of the Babylon exile, he was there, and then he was teleported to the temple in Jerusalem. The Spirit lifted Ezekiel between earth and heaven and brought him to Jerusalem in a vision to witness the idolatry taking place in the temple. After the vision, the Spirit transported him back to exile in Chaldea in Babylon. What do you think? So, also in Matthew 24:40 through 41. Now, they talk about this as being the rapture. But this is more examples of what the word says. 2 will be in the field, 1 shall be taken, the other left. In 1 Corinthians 15, 51 through 52, we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. This sounds like what I'm talking about, teleportation, a sudden removal of Yahuwah's remnant. Now, even those Left Behind series shows that, you know, you're just there, I'm on here on this video, and then all of a sudden I disappear. And, you know, they have the clothes hanging on the ground and the shoes all neatly placed. But when he takes you, it didn't say nothing about Stephen was, you know, didn't have any clothes on, left his clothes in the back or where he was at. All that, it was man-made. So I believe there's going to be teleportation. Now, the wilderness hiding. In Revelations 12, 6 through and 14, the woman fled into the wilderness where she has a place prepared of Yahuwah, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And they really talk about this with the tribulation and all that, but we're not talking about that. This shows Yahuwah does protect his obedient remnant in a hidden place during tribulation. Now, we all are not going. I want you to know that. It says here in Ezekiel 20, 37 through 38, I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant, and I will purge out from among you the rebels, the stiff neck, the disobedient, the loud mouth, the arrogant, the prideful, the homosexual, the fornicator, the whoremonger, the liar, the cheater, the murderer, disrespectful, and the likes, and them that transgress against me. So you're not going, and you're not awaking, and you're not part of the remnant. So not every descendant of Yasharel will be gathered, only those who are obedient and listening to Yahuwah's voice. So the ideal of Yasharel being taken on ships into regathering isn't even scripture. The only ships prophesied, Deuteronomy 28:68, is a curse, not a blessing. The true regathering looks supernatural, sudden, powerful, and protective. Just as I was saying to you, Yahuwah is not going to need man's transportation system. He doesn't move like man. He's the great I am. He's the most high. What are you talking about? The remnant that obeys and clings to Yahuwah will be hidden, preserved, and then brought into the land promised to our fathers. Now, if you've been really in tune with Yahuwah, you know, the daughter of Zion, she's been seeing chariots in the sky. She's been seeing different things in the supernatural. And she's been seeing judgment happening on these Gentile nations and the Gentile people. Now, if I've been watching documentaries after documentaries, and I'm telling you, those people in the Appalachian Mountains, they are suffering. They're showing, you know, the Gentile nation, the 55 and over, they're homeless. They're struggling in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, California, West Virginia, Kentucky, Arkansas. People are suffering. They're not really showing you everything, but they're showing it on YouTube. If you're in tune and you're awakening right now, you can hear what Yahuwah is telling you what to do. He's getting you prepared. He's not getting you prepared for a brand new house, a car, and all these things that are man-made. He's not having you getting in tune with celebrity gossip and what's going on, what's happening in the secular world. He's trying to get your mind together so you are repentant, that you are loving your brother and sister. Because you're going to be regathered, and you're going to have to come together for those who are awakening. You're going to have to get along with each other, and you're going to have to work together because that's who we have as our Father is going to be leading us into this hidden place. This is part 1.